can say, well, we just don't know because we don't have the data on organic. We do have the data on organic food. Every single time it comes in, I mean, the earliest review off memory is one that was published in the mid 20-teens. It was like a Harvard meta review. And it was like, with tons and tons of studies all combined together. And like organic has claims about what it does better. And like, it's true to say that some organic produce has some higher levels of nutrients in one category, but then conventionally farmed other foods have slightly higher levels of nutrients in other categories. And so on the aggregate, there is evidence that organic food is not nutritively different. And there is no evidence that, it's somehow better. There is evidence, compelling evidence, irrefutable evidence of one thing. It costs substantially more.
So many avenues to go there, because if you take your journey, and now it's around 2009 and social media is starting to blow up. And if I can show you after the show, I mean, if I show you my Instagram search page, because I've really been on a fitness thing over the last year or so, it's every other person's an influencer. Every other person has conflicting information about how to do this or that. But interestingly, it almost always is about the physique for these guys.
Yes.
And I don't need to be like, I'm 49. I don't need to be like jacked, ripped like an influencer, but I am more interested in the science and you know, getting my body fully right all the time. And so that I'm not, you know, doing this, you know, even when I'm sitting here, I usually sit back a little bit more than I should or whatever it might be. So how much of what you do on a day-to-day basis is cleaning up the mess of what so many of these other people are putting out there?
Yeah, that's a fun way to put it. On the one hand, there are lots of folks just doing their best, and they're making educated guesses about how things work from their own experience, from inference. And so people will get it wrong. I get it wrong, like, geez, a ton, right? And so there are people that in good faith are trying to help, but getting it wrong. There are still other people that are trying to help, but never manage to first, second, or third guess their approach. And they're kind of just saying stuff that works for them, maybe. And it's not what you would call like a completeness of thought isn't there. And that sucks, because you have to sort of say, hey, that's kind of not true. And people are confused. Oh, this person says it's true. There's a third category, which is really unfortunate, of folks that I guess you could technically describe as like grifters or something like that. And they'll do a combination of two things. One is push their kind of ideological or whatever money-making scheme. The other is they'll just supply a demand, but the people who have the demand are not educated enough to understand what they're demanding. So, for example, a lot of people like organic food, and they think organic food is like good. And it's not like, it's an inborn fallacy of humans, the naturalistic fallacy, the argument from nature, to think natural good. And organic good is just like one house down the street from that. And people will be like, I want organic. And there are many people who will just sell them the stuff and be like, here's what you want. And they're not bad, but it just so happens that in every single comprehensive review of the literature, organic is in no way different health-wise or environmental impact-wise than conventionally farmed produce. And so at RP, we have the tough job sometimes of calling out the BS in a way that's like, look, we do this, feel free to edit this out. We don't want to kick dicks out of anyone's mouth.
We don't edit for content.
Right, excellent. So yeah, we don't kick dicks out of people's mouths, but we're really trying to say like, hey, like respectfully, this is probably more likely to be the truth. And sometimes even what people want, like the consumer of health stuff, they don't look at us and go, oh my God, thank God. They're like, really? You're saying it doesn't matter if I eat organic? And we have a sort of tough job sometimes being like, well, here's all the boring studies and science and
so
shit.
So you're saying there's actually no scientific evidence to say that if you were eating, you know, over the course of 2 years, if you ate just all organic on one side and all inorganic on the other side, or sprayed with pesticides and the rest of it, there's no evidence that there's any health benefit or health detriment?
It's a stronger claim than that can be made. There is direct evidence that almost certainly no difference will occur, because absence of evidence is not evidence of absence.
Right.
Like, I didn't see a ghost in my hotel room last night doesn't mean that ghosts weren't there while I was sleeping or some shit like that. Shit is missing too. I don't fucking ghost probably still.
What hotel were you in?
What the hell?
There's a lot of weird things have happened in Miami.
Worry about that's after the show.
Okay.
But almost certainly the ghosts are stealing stuff. But like, you can say, well, we just don't know because we don't have the data on organic. We do have the data on organic food. Every single time it comes in, I mean, the earliest review off memory is one that was published in the mid 20-teens. It was like a Harvard meta review. And it was like, was tons and tons of studies all combined together. And like organic has claims about what it does better. And like, it's true to say that some organic produce has some higher levels of nutrients in one category, but then conventionally farmed other foods have slightly higher levels of nutrients in other categories. And so on the aggregate, there is evidence that organic food is not nutritively different. And there is no evidence that, it's somehow better. There is evidence, compelling evidence, irrefutable evidence of one thing. It costs substantially more. And there's another bit of a second order problem that in my mind is like really, really unfortunate is people can't know all the knowledge, right? So we use heuristics, simplified rules to be like, this is that, like whatever. Like don't speed because speeding's bad. Like if you're a Formula car driver, it doesn't apply to you because 90 miles feels like standing still. But to the rest of us, like over 90 is really dangerous. One of these kinds of heuristics that's sunk into the popular culture is that if I'm going to eat healthy, it has to be organic. And that is actually like really limiting for people who don't have infinity rich people money because they go to the store, they see conventionally farmed produce, looks totally fine. They see organic, it's super expensive. And they're like trying to be on a health journey maybe. And they're like, well, I can't afford that. And then people are like, hey, why aren't you eating healthy? They're like, I can't afford it. The idea that healthy food costs more than not healthy food is actually entirely mythical. It's totally myth. But because people think organic is great and it's not, it's totally fine. Organic has one big advantage. The organic agriculture process tends to not tolerate transport as well. So organic definition means more local, which means the food tastes like fresher, which is like a legit thing. Like a strawberry off your neighbor's farm is going to taste like, whoa. So people eat the stuff and they go, whoa, it tastes different. I can taste the difference. Even though in blind taste tests, usually they can't. There's some fun TV shows that have done that where they give you 2 bananas and like, this one's organic. Like, nope, actually neither one of these is. They're like, oh, God damn it.
For more insightful conversations on how to live the good life, go check out our lifestyle playlist. And if you want to watch full interviews on a wide variety of topics, watch our full episode playlist all right over here. And to get notified of all future videos, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell.